All right, let's talk about something I'm pretty sure every single one of us deals with. Overthinking. You know, that feeling of just being completely trapped inside your own head. But here's the thing. There's actually a really powerful, ancient solution from Stoic philosophy that you can start using, like, today. You know that feeling, right? It's like 2 in the morning, and your brain suddenly decides it's the perfect time to replay every single awkward thing you've ever said. Or maybe you're about to make a big decision, and boom, you're completely frozen by 100 different ways it could all go wrong. It's just draining. And for what? It gets you absolutely nowhere.
You know, there's actually a name for this. It's called mental paralysis. It's when the sheer weight of your own thoughts, all the worries, all the anxieties, just becomes so heavy that you stop. You're just frozen, unable to act, unable to decide, and definitely unable to move forward.
And let's be really clear about something. Overthinking isn't some harmless, quirky habit. No way. It actively makes things worse. It takes a situation that's probably perfectly fine and injects it with so much doubt and fear that you can't even recognize the original issue anymore.
So how does that even happen, right? How does one little thought just explode into a full-blown crisis inside our heads? Well, it all comes down to how worry completely warps our perception of reality. It has this nasty habit of twisting the simple truth into something much, much scarier.
Okay, look at this. This really gets to the heart of the problem. On one side, you have the actual situation, a simple objective fact. I made a mistake in a work email. Annoying, yeah, but totally manageable. But then, look at what the worry brain does. It tells you this story, this huge, catastrophic fantasy. Everyone thinks I'm incompetent and I'm definitely going to get fired. And that giant leap from a simple fact to a wild fantasy, that's the whole game. That's how overthinking just wrecks everything.
And you know, this whole process has some very real consequences. Worry takes perfectly neutral facts and twists them into personal fears. It grabs a tiny little problem and blows it up until it feels like a mountain. And where does all that lead? Right back to that mental paralysis we were talking about. It leads to total inaction.
Okay, so that's the problem, and yeah, it's pretty intense. But what do we do about it? Well, for the solution, we're going to turn to the Stoics. And I know what you might be thinking, but trust me, this is not some dusty, boring philosophy class. Think of it more like a practical toolkit, an ancient operating system that's kind of perfect for our modern, chaotic minds.
So what even is Stoicism at its core? It's basically a way of life that's all about mastering the one thing you can actually control, your own mind, so that you can better deal with all the stuff you can't. It's about building up that inner strength to rise above destructive emotions and live a life guided by reason, not by panic.
And inside this really rich philosophy, there is one incredibly simple, yet unbelievably powerful rule. It's like the perfect antidote to overthinking, a central command for a clearer, more effective life.
And here it is. Rule your life with your mind, not with your feelings. Just let that sink in for a second. That one sentence holds a profound shift in perspective. It's a whole new way to decide who or what is really in charge. So let's break that down a bit. You've got your feeling brain, right? That's your default automatic reaction. It's impulsive, it's reactive, and it's all about what feels good or bad right now. It's the part that's screaming, I'm going to get fired. But then you have your thinking mind, and that part, that's deliberate. It's the part of you that can actually hit pause, analyze the situation, and think long term. Think of it this way. Your thinking mind is the calm CEO, and your feelings are like a bunch of noisy, panicked interns running around the office.
Now, this is a really, really important point. The goal here is not to become some kind of robot and just suppress all your emotions. Not at all. Your feelings are totally valid signals. The whole Stoic idea is to simply acknowledge them, see them for what they are, and then make a conscious choice not to hand them the steering wheel.
All right, so this is a great idea in theory, but how do we turn it into a practical habit? Well, it all comes down to a really simple mental rule you can apply literally the next time you feel yourself starting to spiral.
It's a simple 3-step process. Seriously, that's it. First, just name the emotion. Say it out loud if you need to. Okay, I am feeling really anxious right now. Step 2, separate the facts from the story. The fact is, I made a typo in an email. The story I'm telling myself is that I'm a failure. See the difference? And then finally, step 3, you use your thinking mind to choose a rational response. Okay, the logical thing to do here is to send a quick correction and move on with my day. And that, right there, is the core shift in your whole perspective. You are not a helpless passenger just being tossed around by the storms of your emotions. You are the ruler. You're the captain of the ship with the power to navigate those storms. You are in charge of your inner world.
So, the next time that wave of what-ifs starts to rise up, the question is actually pretty simple. Your feelings are demanding control. They want to grab the pen and write the story for you. The only question left is, are you going to let them? Or will you choose to rule with your mind?